Hey, what's up, guys? George Gonzalez, sold7more.com. Sold7more at my handle, Instagram handle. Back in the office today, and as you guys know, when I'm in the office, I like to put out content when it ever sparks into my mind. So I wanted to today talk about how simple it is to be a realtor and the myth behind that. Curse, I guess, that you can call that we have as being realtors here. I have this perfect example of what it takes to do this job, and really kind of show you the behind the scenes, not what you see on TV, the arguments and the what sells, and the solutions that always get remedied so quickly in a television show. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about one of my listings that I had here in Sunnyvale, California. And boy, has it been a roller coaster of a ride. So to give you the gist of the story, this property went on the market back in November 2018, a few months back, right when the interest rates began to skyrocket. And November, December was super slow. Along with the holidays, I kind of felt like this was something where the market was going to take a dramatic change, and there was a lot of fear for myself and my client because we didn't know if we timed it wrong. We did do some rehab to this property, which I took care of. It was basically paint inside and out, textured walls, corrected some plumbing in the house, also landscaped the front and backyard. So we did, invest some money so that we can get top dollar. Again, Sunnyvale, we would imagine that it would be a lot quicker sale because that's what we had seen in the past because of the locations directly at reach to all high-tech companies, right off of the freeway. So great schools. However, we didn't anticipate the interest rates going high, at our peak moment when we're on the market. So this is obstacle number one, is that now we're on the market longer than anybody has been in months, years, in fact, in this market that continues to grow quicker and quicker. And so we had already priced it about $100,000 less than the competitors in the neighborhood because they weren't moving for about 25 to 30 days. And if you guys have been following my content, you know that since July of last year, I've been waiting for something like this, some type of adjustment. And so I thought I was prepared enough with the $100,000 discount off of the neighborhood to get in there and generate some multiple offers is what I was hoping for. So that didn't happen. My client and I, we get together after the new year. We're still in the market. And so, I try to keep them calm, and she's 100%, trustworthy. Her and her son are really knowledgeable. He keeps up with the market. So when I went in there, it wasn't like I had to educate them on the whole process. It was more that I had to just kind of refresh their memory of where we are and remind them that the goal here is to sell here and to buy another property. So we try to time it so that we can take advantage as well of the decreasing market. So when we go to buy, and so I kind of, show them a little bit about what the numbers look like when we are able to get a better deal for ourselves and lower the price on our next purchase. They're on board. It's very important to have the trust, and this is a referral, so somebody that trusts me from before, that referred me over there, whom I have a great relationship with, and so that helps a lot, is the trust. And the benefit of the referral is that they know that you come from a background of people that know each other, and you're not in it just to real quick get the money and run, in a sense. So here's what the story takes a turn for the worse. Maybe one of those right hooks on the roller coaster. Right after the drop, that right hook, interest rates drop. We're coming down rapidly in the second and third week of January. The rates start to fall down, which is great news. You hear a lot of the negative reviews on the newscast and the whatever's on the Mercury newspaper and things like that. They're really bashing the market, but you have to remember that this is secondhand information from a reporter that doesn't do real estate, and from a television show or television network that is not involved in the day-to-day. So they look at the behind numbers. So what they're pushing on everybody is to say that the market is slowed down, and it did. However, in a snap of fingers, it it rebooted so quickly that now the rates have fallen again. And when that happened, now we had about 15 tours of this property on a Monday, right after the Friday when they announced that the rates were coming down. And so at this point, we generated a lot of interest, and now we had 3 offers on the table. So at this point, I'm relieved, I'm excited. We go for the highest best written offer, and we do the numbers. We did take a little bit of a price reduction off the top, but that's okay, because again, we are in a situation where the market is still balancing out. It wasn't a problem, I explained. It still allows us to do what we have to do with the capital gained on the sale. So now, I don't like to judge a book by its cover, but the agents that gave me the offers, for the most part, they were fairly new, and I can tell from the DRE number. And I don't mean to bash new agents, because there's some incredible ones out there, but there's some that still need to be trained. And so I did take the highest best offer. It was a non-contingent offer. However, I think they wanted to do a property inspection of like 4 days, which was okay with me. The numbers look good. The qualifications of the buyer look good. Proof of funds were there. So this looks solid. And, I present to my client. We all love each other again. Now it's the roller coaster going up. We're all, climbing on this ride together. We take the offer, get the deposit in escrow, and just talking to the agent, she seems super motivated to close this quickly. She even requested to go view the property at 6 a.m. because that's the soonest time they can get their contractor in there. So, she calls me at 9 o'clock at night. I call my client. I say, look, I know it's last minute. Is it okay if they stop by 6 a.m. tomorrow morning? She says, whatever it takes. I'm on board. We make that happen. Then later on that afternoon, I get another call from the agent. She tells me now that her client wants to close in 15 days. We had a 30-day escrow. Mind you, we still got to move out, and we still got to situate ourselves. So that cuts 2 weeks out of our move-out time. Relate the message to my seller. She says, well, you know what? It looks like everything's moving quickly. Let's go ahead and go for it. We start making arrangements to get trucks out and pods there, so we can start moving things out. Day 4, I believe, I get a email and a phone call from an assistant whom I've never talked to of the agent, telling me that they got the report back and now they want to drop this price. Before I get there, it was about $6,000 of dry rot that had already been replaced, but it's the the leftover wood, I would say, that the termite company called. And we know this because the house has been fumigated for the past 6 years, and we also had 2 of the walls completely replaced from the inside out. So 2x4s, insulation, stucco, so everything is new. They called out some stuff on the garage, on the eaves of the garage, a bunch of, if you know this business in Santa Clara County, this is all farmland, so you're gonna have, termite. That's just a fact. And $6,000 from a termite company really means about, if anything, $1,500 worth of work without their markup and whatnot. And especially with this market where they have so much work, obviously the prices go up. So I tell her, well, I can understand your situation. You want to defend your client, but here's where it spins, and here's where the drop goes. Is that now she wants to lower it about $80,000 worth. So $80,000 reduction for $6,000 worth of work. I'm talking to the assistant. I said, where do these figures? Where are the figures coming from? I don't get it. So you want to reduce this $80,000 for $6,000 Section 1 work? Why can't we just correct the work? Or are you guys playing games? Gave me the highest offer you could, so you can tie me up in escrow, and then now backtrack and lower the price on me, thinking that I was going to be unexperienced enough to go explain to my client the truth and cancel you. So I think I got played on that aspect. I think that the agent is watches too much TV, and that's definitely not something where a professional realtor would have thought of. I think it's BS, and I hope that if you see this video, through the circumstances, you're gonna know what I'm talking about. I really hope that we don't do business ever again. So, any case, back to the story. So I go to my client, I tell her the situation. She's devastated, obviously, because we've already made arrangements to get out in 2 weeks, in 15 days. And so, obviously, the disappointment in her eyes is heartbreaking for me because I have all this weight on my shoulders to break the bad news. However, I don't ever break bad news without having, number one, a solution or options for a solution. Immediately after my phone call, when I told the assistant to this agent that we're going to cancel them, we're going to walk away, thank you but no thank you, I called in my backup offer, whom I had discussed with before we went into contract. I always talk to everybody that makes an offer, and I want to see who wants to be first in position for the backup offer. Her offer was a little lower than our current offer, but I reached out to her. I said, listen, here's my situation. Do you guys still want in? She says, yes, we really like the property. Can I take my clients back out there again today to go take a look at it? I said, absolutely, go out there. However, the price will be this, set in stone, which you guys can see on the MLS later, or I'll do a follow-up when we're closed. And so we agree for her to go out there. She comes back. She still wants to stick to her original offer. I said, okay, well, I just wanted to let you know that we were going to go back on the market and wanted to be the first in line because I promised. I said, however, it's not going to work at those numbers. It doesn't work for me. It doesn't work for me or my client, to go forward. She says, hold on, George. Give me a second. Let me get them at my office. I'll talk to them and explain. At this point now, you have to remember the market is heating up again, and now everything else that's coming on the market is now a little more expensive than mine. And so I explained that to her, and I said, look, tax season's coming along. We all know it's going to spark a fire in everybody to get, their finances in order to purchase a property. Okay, so now this is the part of the roller coaster where you're like going straight and you don't know if it's going to drop, if it's going to lift again. So luckily she calls me. She says, you know what? Check your email, new offer, let's put it together. I put it in contract again. Looks like we're now climbing. I talked to my client. Obviously, we've signed the contract, we're back in business, and everybody's happy again, right? So my stress level came down about 2 levels, 2 out of 10, right? So we get into this. This is a fairly new agent, I can tell, because she has a mentor that's tagged on the emails that every now and then responds to questions that I have, which is okay because I can really appreciate a new agent with a mentor coaching. Letting them do their thing and make mistakes is good. Having somebody to correct and give you answers is even better. So I applaud that. I applaud the new agents that have a mentor. And if you're looking for one, I'm available if you like the way I work. Anyways, so now we're back in escrow. We're now about a week from closing. However, now it didn't get so easy though, because again, this agent is very, very much controlled by their buyer because they went up on price. They feel like they need to get something back. And so we did re-roof this property about a year ago. There was no permit pulled. It was one of those family members that I know how to do roofing. Let's just get it together, save some money. No contractor, didn't pull the permit. We didn't think we were going to be selling the property either way. Now she tells me, well, we're willing to release, our contingencies upon that you will pull a permit for the roof. I said, not a problem. I'm actually on my way now to go meet with the seller to have the permit signed so I can go back and pay for it so we can get it scheduled this week. And so that was one obstacle. The other obstacle was that this property is on a cement slab, and mind you, it's about anywhere from 40 to 50, 45 years old. And so they had a foundation gentleman go out there, an inspector, about a week and a half ago, and he gives them a bid for a foundation repair job about $46,000, which for me, for a 1,000 square foot home on a cement slab, I was just taken by surprise. I really laughed it off, and I said, well, the home has, in those years, from what the report says, adjusted to about an inch and a quarter over the time, and they tell it from the marks on the walls and whatnot that it's settled in. And so flat out, in that conversation when she calls me, I just straight kill the conversation of any type of price reduction. We've already discussed this. I've already told you my experience from the first agent. So I said, look, I think you should get a second opinion. It's a cement slab. I've been there. There's hardwood floor laid down. There's nothing there that indicates any type of damage that's going to be extensive. It's cracked, yes, over the years. Any home at that price in Sunnyvale, unless it's a new construction, it's impossible for it to be level. I explained this to her. She is fairly new, like I said, so she does what I say. She gets a second opinion. They come back and say, you know what, yes, the foundation has shifted, however, nothing's wrong with it. We don't anticipate any big issues. So we clear that up. Didn't want to leave that out because that was another dip, a little dip on that roller coaster ride. So now here we are. We're getting the roof permit. I went up there myself. I've done several roofs, re-roofing myself. I know this is going to pass, not a problem. And so we're scheduled to close, I believe, next week. And got my client pretty much wrapped up all her, personal items, ready to go. And so with this story, I hope that you get to see the stress upon the realtor in charge to make sure that, number one, the client doesn't get nervous. And number two, any issues that we have, we tackle and we defeat them as soon as possible. And number three, I have to give my client a lot of credit, her and her son, for understanding and trusting in me, and knowing that the best interest was not to get the first backup offer at a cheaper price and run with it. It was to fight for them to make sure that we got the highest, best price. And so I'll keep you guys posted. Hope this story was at least entertainful for you guys. Or entertainment. I don't know if entertainful is a word, but again, I'm in the car. Exit's about 2 miles up, so I'll let you guys go for now. George Gonzalez, Sold 7 More. Check out the website if you have any questions. Sold7more.com. If you have any questions, drop them below. And I'll see you guys soon. It's George Gonzalez, Sold 7 More, Santa Clara County expert. I don't know how to end this thing, so I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.